Alright guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris Unholy Jesus.
What's up, fam? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Hijack. This is episode 183. The main topic for tonight, we're going to be talking about some Utah, is it folklore stories out there?
Well, at least for this area, the Great Salt Lakes, yeah, there's like a story behind it of where just this wild stuff is happening throughout time. We had some pictures and videos of my trip out there last week. It's unreal, man. The places I've never, it's like if you combine a desert and a lake into one place, that's exactly what it would be. I don't know how to explain it, but it's a very weird spot. And I felt uneasy like the second I got there. I was like, this kind of feels dead. Like nothing feels right here. Like something feels awful.
Like you don't hear no bugs or nothing?
What's that?
Like you don't hear no bugs?
No, nothing. I didn't see any bugs at all. It's like you get out there and it's just like, and it just smells. As soon as you get there, you just smell it. And then, yeah.
Like,
so
does it smell like mud? Because like the lake is dried, right?
It actually smells more like, I look up the smell because it smelled like more like a fishy smell. But when I was reading about it after I left the place, they said like some people say it smells like sulfur or rotting eggs.
Oh, okay.
So it smells awful. Whatever it is, it smells horrible there.
So yeah, it's like a real ass lake there, right?
Yeah, it's a salt lake. Lakes aren't usually salt. They're usually just straight water. That's like ocean water.
So yeah. The story you were gonna tell, right? It's like a monster that was in the Great Lakes, right?
Was like I got several stories about several monsters that are there, but I was gonna talk about the origin of why the place like has like this weird, crazy story behind that.
Yeah, I want to know about that.
Like the deaths that happened throughout there, and it goes way back to like 18 something. So I was gonna start with the history of that, and then eventually go into like the legends of all these creatures that live there.
Yeah, I actually have one story from Utah.
Okay.
You ever heard of the Hoodoos?
Hoodoos, no.
Mystery of Utah Hoodoos.
Hoodoo, like voodoo, but hoodoo.
Yeah, it's like some legends of some indigenous people, like in the region where they had like people like speaking in the air, like a wind talking to you.
Oh.
And like, are these our ancestors or is this the earth talking to us? But they had like this whole like folklore legend about that.
Oh shit.
And
Utah's weird, man. Utah's weird.
Yeah.
The longer I stay here, I started to hear other stories. I'm like, hey man, this place sounds like just a big ass ghost town. The whole state's a ghost town. That's all it is. This is weird shit out here.
Fucking portals everywhere and shit. All right, so after that story, I'm gonna be talking about the Vatican, about their new they're releasing like this new guidelines for the paranormal activity and what their bishops got to go through now. It's like a revised version of the documents of how to determine if this is an actual supernatural event or not.
Oh,
and it got released today, actually, live on like YouTube Live.
Oh shit!
Yeah, they had like a whole like a hearing about it. Like it was a big deal.
Yeah, when were you talking about how the Vaticans are like they're the ones that it's like they're the ones that certify what's supernatural and what's not. Right. They're like
it's like whatever they say is green light. Like whatever they say it goes.
It's like this wasn't exorcism. This wasn't exorcism. Your kid just had gas. It's not
right. It's like that Netflix show called Evil. They sent out like they sent out people to go verify if this is an actual supernatural event. But now they rewrote the whole documents on how they're actually supposed to go through it now.
Okay.
All right. We'll get started with Chris Unholy.
Yes, sir. Where's my shit at? All right. My bad. My notes clicked off. I'm horrible with computers. Anyway, so this past week, me and wifey, we went up to Salt Lake City for job purposes and whatnot. And so we decided on our downtime, we would travel to Great Salt Lakes. And we went there, and it was a dope spot, but it's also creepy at the same time. Now, when I went there at first, I had no idea what the hell was there or anything about it at all. I just knew it was just like a salt lake, and that's it. And damn near it almost seemed like the middle of a mountainous area. And I was interested to see it as well, too, because lakes aren't normally salt, if I'm not mistaken. That's usually like fresh water or just regular damn water, I guess. Where salt water is usually like in the damn ocean, you know. So we went to go check it out, and then we got some videos and footage, and you know, and
you want me to show some now?
Or when we go to the story.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, I can go to the story. We'll start with the story first. All right, so with the Great Salt Lakes. So the reason why the Great Salt Lakes even has like any type of name to it, and why it's named the Great Salt Lakes, is because during like 1840s, the Donner family was basically doing like this Western expansion, like a lot of Europeans did when they first came to America, landed on the East Coast and worked their way west. And so, because there were like certain groups of Europeans who were getting sick of being like, you know, bullied by the Catholics, it was like, hey, we want to go further west to escape this shit and start our own thing. So a lot of these Europeans started making their way across America, and that's when they started taking things like the Oregon Trail, and that's the Oregon Trail went to Oregon.
Yeah.
So this trail that they started going through, what's the name of this trail? There was a trail that they went through. It's called like I lost the fucking name of it. Anyways, I'll remember in a second. There was like this alternative trail called like Hickok Trail, I think it's the name, where they were, instead of taking the Oregon Trail, they started trying to experiment in different trails because they was hearing stories about California. And it's like, hey, if we go out there, of us Europeans, we're trying to get away from the East Coast, we could take this alternate trail to where we could actually go to California, because we got people already going up to Oregon, and everybody knows Oregon Trail, that if you played the game, you know everybody was dying on that shit. Right. This trail was no different. So this trail was going through like the Midwest, it cut through Utah, and it also cut across through the Great Salt Lakes. And then it continued through Nevada and eventually got to California. And on this trail, they was hearing rumors that, hey, we got to be careful when we get to California. We need to get guns ready because we might come across, you know, Mexican authorities. Because this whole story is about them getting ready to take over America and wipe out Mexico and push them down south of the border. And so doing this trail, the Donner Party, once they crossed like through Salt Lake, cause like the whole thing, like I said, there was crossing through all this other stuff, and while this going through Salt Lake, the issue that they was having was like, okay, we're drinking water, but we're running out of water because they started running low on resources, so they would start drinking the water out the lake, and then like people were dying because they realized it was salt water they was drinking. Salt water would drop your ass in a heartbeat. That's why they say like even when you like use like salt water and warm water to like rinse out cuts in your mouth, never drink it. It's bad for your system. It's horrible. So people drinking the water
drinking it out of like thirst, right?
Just I drink out of thirst because it's running low on supplies. Jesus. And also because like this whole journey was basically like called because they were trying to escape like Catholic religion on the East Coast. This is basically like still part of like Manifest Destiny, which is like this bullshit Europeans think of even to this day, of thinking that they should be able to control everything like between the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Basically, like it's God's will that they should control all this shit. Even though even if it's not their land, they're gonna take it. They believe that they're here to take it. I do believe in some concept that still exists to this day, but back then it was really heavy. That's why America got taken over all the way across to the West Coast. And so this travel right here with the Donner family was no different. They're still Manifest Destiny, feeling like they can just roll up in California and challenge Mexican authorities. But this trip was riddled with a bunch of deaths. Primarily when they was drinking the water in Great Salt Lake, they was dying. But then also when they went further to the Sierra Nevada, they had received a newsletter from a group because like they also worked for like some of the people that was a part of this group worked for like a post office company. A mailman wrote out to them because they got stuck in the snow. They got hit with like a blizzard. So this mailman came out there to where the Donner family was at, and they gave him a letter saying like, hey, you guys are gonna be stuck out here for a good minute, and so you guys get ready and you guys need to hunker down for some winter. We're going to get in contact with our people in California, and they're going to come out to you and give you guys supplies that you need, and we'll get and get you out from being stuck in the snow, because they got stuck in the snow on their way to California, right? So while they was there, the Donner family, they started forming like this tribalisms and in-house beefs with each other, and factions started forming because they were stuck out there trying to form plans. And eventually they started to sound like, okay, well, so-and-so died. We need to eat his body. So they ate one person's body and kept eating their dead's body. But we got to a point where nobody was dying. They all turned to their Native American guides. They had two Native American guides who helped them across this whole terrain that they couldn't get through without them. They turned on them and then beat them to death, and they ate them too. So they ate two Native American guides. Yeah. And so and then eventually after this whole incident, after they just ate these two guys and kept eating people, they said how many people died on this trip? It said out of the 87 members of this party, 48 survived. And so the ones so they basically ate like over 40 people just to survive and make their way across. And so and the thing is though, the rescuers from California, they didn't find them till 4 months later, after everybody's all eaten up and whatever, and they pulled them out the snow. So that's a long ass rescue, man. 4 months to wait. So
I don't think they had to eat that much people, dude. Because like one body can probably provide for a long time. Yeah. But they ran through like 40 bodies. Yeah, and then ate the tour guide.
Yeah, and then killed the 2 tour guides.
Come on, man.
Because from my understanding, they said like that's the only sign they saw where murder was committed was with the 2 tour guides. Everybody else had died from natural causes. Like some of the people that got, like one of the guys that got drink the salt water, I'm pretty sure they ate him. They wanted eating his ass. So they was eating people that was actually dying from natural causes. But I guess when people saw the death started slowing, it was like, well, we got to eat somebody, and they made an Indian burger. So
they were seasoned.
They tore that, man.
Well, whoever, they drink all the salt water. They're pretty seasoned.
Yeah, man. Right? Like, ooh, they got
damn.
They got to hunt for no type of spice.
Huh? Oh, Yellowtail.
Yeah, so that's how that story starts off. That's how like that place started getting like a this is a bad rap for like kind of being haunted, just because it was like a pivotal point where people got stuck and was dying just crossing through America. And it's actually, they say, it's one of the most infamous California stories too, as far as migration across America and people settling into California, like Europeans settling into California. So
like, what happened to the lake? Like, it just dried up?
Yeah, so over the years the lake started drying up. It went through a drought. And now, actually, from what I was reading in an article not too long, yesterday, it was saying that within the next 5 years, the lake is going to be completely dried. And you'll see it too when we see like the pictures. It's like to get there, it's like to get to where the water source is at, it's about a good 10 to 15 minute walk. You're just walking through straight, like, actually not even sand, it's actually all salt. You're just walking on salt all the way till you get to the water. But it's about like 10 minutes to get to walk across this, just actually get to the water and go swimming if you want to. That's how dried up it is, man. You can see where the water used to reach to compared to like, oh shit, this is like.
So you found the water? Like there is a water?
Yeah, when you first get there, and you can barely even tell in the pictures I had that it's barely water out there. It's water out there, but it's like.
Let me show the picture.
When you first. Yeah.
Well, not that one. Well, here's a video.
Yeah, so this is when we first walked down there. Straight ahead is water. You can go straight there.
That looks nothing like all Cassie.
That's right over there. Right over there. See where that little silver gleam is at?
Oh shit, wrong. This one you
Yeah, so this is like the Saltier amphitheater they got there. They had like have had performances there, but it's become a ghost town since COVID. They completely shut it down for the most part.
Looks like Fallout, dude.
That's what I thought of too. I swear, maybe because I just watched Fallout. That's what I'm going.
Looks like a Fallout shelter.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that was like yeah, so the Great Salt, that Saltier building right there. Yeah, that's okay, so like see like to the top left, you see like the little silver gleam? Yeah, that's where the water's at. You have to walk all the way across this just to get to the water. But the
whole thing used to be a whole lake, huh?
Yes, man, like right to where we're at. And if you look at some of the older pictures too, and where the Saltier building is at, that used to be all flooded. That used to be all water at one time. There was like no land. We walked across like a lot of land. At one time, all that used to be submerged underwater. Like I was watching like videos, like old school videos, like people back like in the 50s and 60s swimming in it and everything. It was wild, man. It's vastly different from what it is now, but everything's dried up. It's like a damn ghost town. So, but the amphitheater that we were just looking at, the Saltier amphitheater, it's been like a ghost. Like I said, it's been basically shut down since COVID from what I was looking up. Like a lot of businesses like took a huge hit.
This place so like when you guys went there, did you guys have to pay for anything to be in that area?
No, you just walk in. Now there is a part of that area where you have to drive. Like if you're standing in front of the Saltier building, if you go left of it and go down this road, it takes you to like where you can go camping on the beach at, or if you want to go out there, you can pay for parking. But it's kind of like we didn't do it because it's kind of like, okay, we did that for free, half a mile down the road, so right. we can walk. It's not a big deal. So yeah, they did have a place where you had to pay, but I don't see why when you can just go to any part of it and just look at it. But it smells awful out there. It smells awful. And I think I sent you. I don't know if you got the picture of one of the. They have an issue with birds out there. A lot of people complain about with birds.
I'm not sure if I got that picture. I forgot about that one.
There's like a bunch of dead birds.
Oh, I should have missed it.
Okay, yeah, that is like a picture. I had like a bunch of dead birds. So like, and like nothing that dies there ever decays. Everything's all like full. It's almost like mummified. Yes, like a mummified preserved body. So when you go there, you see like all the birds laid out, and then when me and Melissa like wound up like leaving there, we like looked it up, and we were like, oh, like 'cause we see like whole fish bodies, but the eye sockets are empty. But it's like the salt in the water preserves everything that dies there. And so it's just like we got to a point the closer we got to the water, you hit like a bird graveyard. It's just like birds everywhere dead.
Jeez.
Bodies full and everything. And just mummified birds. And then we was like, oh my God, is that where the smell is coming from? Like, it just smells awful, man. That's why like I saw a dude out there. He was like on this like this little floatable raft. Huh?
Oh, he was alive?
Yeah, he was alive. He wasn't dead.
Okay, damn.
He's like on a floatable raft with him and his dog. Because that lake is only like, and I'm sure the lake was probably higher at one point, but as of right now, that lake is only like 2.5 feet deep, but it's 80 miles wide. But yeah, because like I saw a guy on like, you saw a guy like, oh yeah, right, you could walk through the whole thing, and then there's like this guy who's like on this floatable raft with him and his dog. At first, I saw him like get off of it. I was like, oh man, he kind of far out there. That's kind of dangerous. But then I watched him and his dog walk all the way back to the shore. I was like, what the hell? And that's when we looked up like the depth of it. It was like only 2.5 feet, but it's 80 miles. But if you look at the older pictures, it was massive at one time. It's like you could drown in that shit back then, but now it's just like it's dried up and. So
were they just like chilling there? Because there's no fishes, right?
Yes, fishes out there. Yeah, there's everything. Yeah, and they're just chilling out there. And they're like, maybe if there's any body of water with fish in it, I don't get it.
So it's a saltwater lake.
It's saltwater lake. Yeah. Saltwater lake. It's been around since 1840, and then it was actually considered like one of the first recreational bathings in the world in human history. It's like one of the first places where humans started bathing at.
Taking a shower.
So I wouldn't drink none of that water though.
Yeah, it's like India. Like you know how they use their water source for everything, like laundry, taking a shit.
Yeah, everything.
Scrubbing.
Can't waste that shit.
They even throw dead bodies in there. And then they wash their dishes. I'm like,
nah, come on, man.
We'll eat somewhere else.
How you gonna eat that chicken curry, man? It's like, yeah.
He scoops it up with his bare hands. Chicken curry. Grab the rice with his hands.
All right, so that's like kind of the human aspect of the story, where that place has a history of. But that's how it started, at least with the human part. So now the supernatural part. Now there's been stories where people have gone through there, mainly back in the day, where people were just traveling through on horses or had cattle coming through, and there was stories of like this half crocodile. It was like a half crocodile,
half human.
It's like this. Yeah, it's like there's a half reptile mammal that would like chase things, and then it would drag like entire cows and horses into the water. And it had like these large bat-like wings that were like over 100 feet wide. And so there was like this story where there's like these two guys that was on horseback. Some creature came out the water and grabbed like one of their horses and dragged it in, and it was like, oh hell, and just ran for their life. They ran into a cave, and then they hid into the cave, hoping the creature would just go away eventually, and they could just hunker down and just get through it. But then later on, as soon as they're trying to get ready to leave the cave, the creature comes in, just coming in there, but this time it's dragging a cow. And then they just sat there and hid in the corner for like all night as this creature just like chomped down on the cow, and eventually like just left. And after they got done eating the cow, they left and then ran back and told everybody like, oh, we saw this half crocodile, half beast with black bat wings living in this water, and it's dragging stuff into this water. And so as far as I know, there wasn't even like an actual name for it.
It sounds like a Jersey Devil, but
the gator version.
I remember you saying like Utah was like a test area for nuclear weapons.
Yeah, man. I know. Like this whole region, like Nevada, Utah, this whole region has been like straight nuclear tests. Now, I don't know if it was like as far as Salt Lake City, but anyways, it doesn't matter. Radiation can travel far. So, but I know at least within Southwest Utah, when I looked it up before I even got out here, it does talk about like how they used to test nukes out here, and then they may have had issues of cancer in the 90s with people just with radiation and stuff.
Yeah,
but,
and like animals too, right? They could have been affected.
Right, and maybe got some kind of radiation crocodile bat thing running around
Out in the wild, dragging all
Just-
these crocodiles or alligators,
in salt lakes.
drowning them in salt water.
It says what is it? Okay, so that was one of the creatures that was popping up too. So that was the one that, but there's never really a name for that creature. I try to look it up, and it's like, okay, just half crocodile, half bat creature thing, mammal thing. So I couldn't really find the name of it. But there is another story of another creature that lived out there. It was called the water baby, and the name, and this predates even the white man, before the white man got there. This is like Native American lore that this creature lived out in the Great Salt Lake, and it was called Pakinawat, which is also known as the water babies. And basically, legend goes that water babies are mysterious and dangerous spirits that inhabit bodies of water, such as lakes, ponds, and spirits, supposedly to take the form of beautiful human infants with fishtails, and are guardians of the waters they reside in. Some stories say that you hear the cry of the water baby is an omen of death, but others believe that picking up or messing with the water baby results in a catastrophe. And they also talked about it too, where, like, when people come to investigate why the water baby's crying out there, they will grab the person and drag them into the depths of the Great Salt Lake, never to be seen again. So it's like, you'll hear the water cry baby out there, but if you go there and try to save it, something else grabs you. It ain't no water baby. It's some.
It's a pump fake.
You know, I was like, I got you.
Got him.
And just
What they call
drag
that?
your ass.
A shank or some shit? No, gank. You ever play
A
like
gank?
League of Legends or shit like that?
Oh, gank his ass.
Yeah, like hiding in the bushes, just wait for him.
Mm-hmm. Yep, little
Damn.
ambush, man. But yeah, that's another one of the creatures out there.
I gotta take a quick leak real quick. I could barely hold it. I'll be right back.
There you go.
My bad.
All right, so where we at before? All right, so yeah, so they got that creature that was there, and so like the last part of the story I was going to talk about too was going to be a missing person case that actually ended up being like a murder case, and it was with a girl. Like, well, so a girl went missing back in the 2000s. Her name was Nikki Bacolis. She disappeared after moving to Utah from Washington State to be with her boyfriend. Duck hunters later recovered her remains near Saltier, which is a spot that we were at when we went up there. But police couldn't identify her immediately. This is why she was named Saltier Sally. That's her nickname, Saltier Sally. And supposedly she haunts this place at night. Now, I've heard two different stories that they found her body in a briefcase. Now, I don't know if that was another story, or if there's another, or if that might have been another missing girl that was found in the briefcase that they couldn't identify as well either, because her body was just like she was so badly decomposed they couldn't really find out who she was. So I did hear that she found in a briefcase. Other stories I've heard that she was found just laid down on the ground dead, but she had been missing for like 4 or 5 months or whatever. And her family had no idea where she was at because they didn't have any way to contact with her. They didn't have no cell phone number or anything. Actually, cell phones weren't even big in the 2000s like that. So they didn't have no number to contact with her. So when all those months later after Nikki Buckles went missing, that's when her family finally contacted authorities. I guess the public's kind of like, that's kind of suspicious. You just now telling us your daughter was missing, but they was like, look, we didn't know, we didn't have her number, so don't chill out. But yeah, so they wound up doing getting her DNA test, and that's how they wound up finding out, because they found her dead like in the early 2000s, and it wasn't until 2012 they found out her actual her name, because they ran DNA and they actually studied her hair, and with the isotopes in her hair, they was able to track down what state she even lived in.
Damn.
So that DNA, wow, man. So they was able to just through her hair follicles, like, oh, she lived in goddamn a whole nother state over. So
like, wouldn't you have to be in the system for them to find out that type of information?
I would think so. Some dental history, because it's all got to match up. It's like blood, DNA, hair, like like hair samples and stuff. Cause I always figured DNA, hair samples, all that stuff is kind of like all like saliva. Yeah, it's all like one thing. You leave anything behind, it's like, oh, it's in your blood.
Here's my blood.
Like, I'm pretty sure if you grab like a shit ton of hair and you pull it out, it's gonna have some blood on it if you do it. Like, so that's all. But so yeah. So I actually watched a video on Ghost Adventures. I don't even watch Ghost Adventures, but I watched an episode about it. And some dude supposedly they went inside the amphitheater, the Saltier amphitheater, went up the steps, and one of them felt shoved down the steps. Oh,
the one that you were at, right?
Yes.
But you were locked out.
Yeah, the steps that you see in the very beginning, like when I was looking through. Yeah, and Ghost Adventures, you see him get shoved down the steps, and he's like, "Oh!" And so, also, I forgot to mention too, Black Rock.
I don't have the picture. Damn it.
No, the first giant rock.
This one.
Oh, yes, right, this right, yeah.
Those steps. So they did a
Yeah,
ghost adventure in those
I
ones?
think he fell on those steps or something, or some shit. Yeah, but he fell. Oh, and then supposedly it might have been Saltier Sally. They say her spirit walks the place. I had a picture. I'm gonna try to do it when I edit. I'm gonna try to get a picture from Melissa. But the next day, right? Crazy story. And I'm not joking when I say this.
Okay.
Because the other day my back was itching a lot. I was like, man, my back is itching.
Damn.
And I was scratching my back, and I was like, okay, this feels funky. And I wound up going to the next day when I took a shower, I was showering and I was like, oh shit. And I was touching my back and I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, when Melissa came home, I couldn't see it. I tried looking in the mirror. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then when Melissa came home, I showed her, hey, what's this? She was like, are those nails? Like,
what?
She's like,
No way.
She's like, what bitch put her nails in? I was like, hey, look, I've been with nobody. Chill.
She
like,
went in fight mode.
Nobody. But she took a picture of it and I forgot to fucking send it. I'm gonna try to put it on the edit.
Send it right now.
Yes, I still
Send
got
it right now.
I still got it on my shoulder right here.
Nail scratches?
Yeah, but it don't look like somebody just dug just one nail mark, but it's like somebody just dug in my back. And I was like, what the hell? I was like, so I felt it at first. I was in the shower. I was like, oh, I felt sore at first, and then it started stinging. And then I looked at it. I was like, okay, I can't really see it. And I looked in the mirror. I was like, is that a cut? And then when Melissa looked at it, that's what she said. Oh, those are like nail, like something like grabbed you. And I'm like, oh no, man. I'm not going in anymore. Swear to God, man.
Well,
I can't have got
she's
the damn
laughing.
picture.
But dude, that's crazy, dude. Send me a picture.
Yes, I'm gonna put it in the edit.
Shirt off.
Spin on your head like helicopters.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, I wonder if I still got it. Hold on.
Damn. Okay. Stretch the neck out.
Like,
all I see is a mosquito bite.
No, it was a little bit bigger before. It's like
Or a
a scab
birthmark.
mark.
Yeah, I can't see it because the camera's too fuzzy.
Oh, it's like a little black dot. This is actually bigger before.
Oh,
it was a scab
I believe you.
It was a scab when I had it before.
Man, that reminds me of I had a friend, right? We went to this one party, and he went to go take a leak, and then next thing you know, he come running out the bathroom, saying, "Man, there's the fucking ghost like grabbed my neck and pushed his head down in the when he was taking a leak, like grabbed his neck and pushed it down." He's like, "What the fuck was that?" Then he showed his neck, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like a whole handprint on his neck, like something held him down for a long time. You saw the whole handprint on his neck, and the dude was black too, and we still saw it. So we're like, dude, they grab you hard as fuck.
Right? They can see if we can see it in your skin, they grab you hard.
I was like, God damn, like that shit's crazy. They grabbed the fuck out of him.
That's some prison shit.
Yeah, he said he took his head, right? Just shoved it down. I was like, fuck that shit. Yeah, I was scared of that house. After I heard that story, I was like, I might visit one more time and then that's it. Because, dude, before I went to the house, right, it was like a house party. So I brought like a case of like a Corona beer. You know, Corona beer, like that shit's pretty sturdy. So, you know, heavy, like, you know, by the little holes and shit. Yeah, right? When I was walking up the steps of the house, it felt like something slammed it down, dude. Like it ripped the whole case ripped, and then like I think like 5 beer bottles broke, and I was like, holy shit! This was like just walking up the steps of the house. I was like, at first I didn't think about anything weird happening, but then when I thought back at it, I was like, it did feel like something pushed the whole shit down, because it just ripped. It just ripped like it was nothing.
I would have cried just off the beer bottles breaking. That shit is heartbreaking.
Yeah, I was like, God damn. That was 4. Man. That was 4 down.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's it for that place, man. It's not like a whole bunch of stuff going on, but it has like a weird past, and bodies have showed up there, and supposedly I tried to find some shit that I heard that they do satanic rituals out there, which I can kind of get.
I believe that.
I couldn't find anything on it. I just heard it in passing. I just read about it, but I couldn't find any proof of it. But yeah, because we go out there, man. I don't know if you can tell in the video, there's like no lamps. There's like no street light lamps. There's nothing. It's just like, so like, 'cause there's a guy on YouTube who actually goes out. He went out there in the middle of the night. He had to go out there with night vision, man. It's just straight darkness, man. So you ain't catching me out there.
Excuse me.
It was creepy during the daytime. There was a part where we walked up to the lake, and I looked down, and the reason why I started finding the place really creepy, because I'm used to like, okay, when the oceans come up, it all comes up like washes back into the ocean. When I looked down, I saw the lake slowly creeping through like the lines in the sand, but it was going towards my foot, and I moved my foot back, and I just saw like the water creeping closer. I was like, "Hey, is this water rising? Like, we gotta go, man. I'm not trying to stay here any longer." The place is just creepy to me, man. Man, Utah's creepy to me by anyways, but that was like it was just weird how like, you see like the water going through like the lines, like because I guess like people are like drew like lines in the sand with sticks or whatever, or just footprints in the sand, and you saw like the water going in between all the ridges and stuff. And then like when I moved my foot away, I was like, the faster I'm like, hey, we should go, man. It's
like, oh,
this water's rising.
We had enough of this water shit out here.
Yeah, I was like, I ain't trying to swim in this nasty shit. It stink out here too. Stinky ass water.
Yeah, I would think like a lot of satanic shit happens out there because it's such a wide area where there's really nothing's going on. In quotations, but imagine like behind the scenes of like the locations that they do call all these rich people like, hey, meet up here at Utah. I'm pretty sure it goes down.
Come on down.
Nobody gets in trouble. They don't have to worry about traffic.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had a bunch of like what's that shit that place Bohemian Grove type stuff.
Yeah, or like the Burning Man like out there.
Right. Middle of nowhere.
They have the little Burning Man.
Right. But yeah, that's all I got for the Great Salt Lakes, man. Weird spot, cool, but I'm good. I'll never go there at night. Fuck that.
Yeah, fuck that. Let that shit sleep.
I don't want to see no water babies.
All right, let's get into the Vatican. All right, so the Vatican, they're preparing a guideline for apparitions and other supernatural phenomenons. All right, so the Vatican, they're about to release a document on guidance on how to discern supernatural stuff, and they said they were going to publish it today, May 17, on a live stream press conference. And I saw a little bit of it. I couldn't really find it, but there was other news sources that did cover the whole thing, and then they gave you all the facts on all the new norms of like their I guess their protocol on what they should do when there is a supernatural like phenomenon happening,
right? And
then when they send their bishops to go over to investigate.
Fucking Ghostbusters.
Yeah, they said like we need to do an update because the old one from like 1978 like is not good enough to like because I guess it's like a lot of stuff that they did like back then, like if it was like a little bit like supernatural, they were already consider it like supernatural.
Yeah.
So they have to go through like a whole bunch of more steps now to be like, all right, we can't just say everything is supernatural. We got to go through some steps now.
Right.
You can't say everything is fucking creepy. Or like if you say like there's like a UFO and shit, like, all right, like you need to like really verify this and go through all the protocols.
Oh yeah, because they can't investigate every single claim, man. That's impossible.
Right. It's like, oh, my child has been, attacked by an evil spirit. Now he's like walking on walls. They're like, all right, let's send somebody out there to verify this.
And then they'd be like, oh no, he just had too much sugar. Like,
yeah, like, and your walls are concave. Like, come on, even Tony Hawk can walk up this. Bob said it's like that show Evil on Netflix. Yep.
Yeah,
that's exactly like the show Evil, where there's like a supernatural event that happens, and then they send their people there to investigate. They got like the dude that is like the tech guy. He's the one that's supposed to debunk it, and then they got the priest that he oversees that shit, and then they have like, I think the girl's like a lawyer or some shit like that.
Oh damn! And who do y'all work for? Like the Vatican or?
Well, the priest works for like the Vatican. And then it's like a team.
Okay.
Like if it's something that can't be explained, but then it could be explained with like technology or stuff, to have like a tech guy.
Okay.
To be like, oh, it's because so and so. This is why you're hearing it, because there's pipes that's been busted.
Was it like a big black dude in the show?
Big black dude.
Oh yeah, he's Luke Cage. Oh shit. I heard of that show. I just never seen it. I always wondered what it was about.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's like it's not really serious. It's like a...
Oh, really?
It's like a... What's that show with the devil? Lucifer. It's like that.
Oh, Lucifer's cool.
Yeah, they do cases like that. It's like that type of show. Okay. And I think that black dude on Lucifer is the same black guy.
For real?
Yeah, the dude Michael From
Yeah, I didn't get that far into Lucifer. I only watched the first season, I say, but I liked it. I just never picked it back up.
yeah,
I thought it was good though.
yeah, Evil is just like that.
Okay, I'm gonna check it out because I thought Lucifer was good. Maybe I can try to finish it.
All right, so there's 6 potential outcomes for examining supernatural phenomenon. The outcomes can range from declaring an event not supernatural origins to authorizing, I think it's piety and devotion without affirming the events of divine nature. I don't even know what that means. The second one says, what does nihil obstat imply in context to these events? It says it implies to no objection to event and encourages pastoral appreciation and promotion without confirming its authenticity as supernatural. I don't know what the fuck that means either.
Big words. So the authenticity of supernatural, like that, they just gotta investigate it and determine if it's real or not. Because I'm pretty sure like some people in other countries be like, oh, my child is possessed, and they go there, it's like, no, your child actually has like possibly a mental disorder and should be seen by like an actual doctor. Not everything needs to be solved with religion. Hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, take your kid. Your kid's actually sick. So I remember there's been stories too of like where children have died doing exorcisms because they were starved out or whatever. And come to find out, it was like, okay, your kid had a mental disorder, and you, instead of actually treating them properly, you decided to starve him out, and then made it seem like he was possessed, and now they dead.
Yeah, it's like the deep voices your kid is having. He might just be crazy a little bit.
Or he's hungry because you ain't feeding him.
You didn't have to starve him for 2 weeks. Come on.
Right?
Voices sound like a deep groan and shit.
Yeah,
Or I think they mostly attack like females, like when they do exorcisms.
Oh, like girls, like the.
Yeah, because you ever heard of exorcism where it was like a boy kid?
Actually, yeah, I did. The movie. Do you know the movie?
Yes,
the movie
I remember
Exorcism?
now. Right when I said that, I remember that scene.
Yeah, like the movie Exorcism is a girl in the movie, but in real life it was a boy. It's based off of a boy that went through it. Yeah, but in the movie they used a chick though. So that's that. But yeah, it seems like it's only females, at least from some of the stuff I've seen. You ever listen to the recording of
I heard one.
Yes, of an exorcism. Oh man.
Yeah, I heard one while I was listening to a podcast. Right at work, I was around a lot of people, and I heard they said it was a real exorcism, and I heard the voices like just on the earbuds. Dude, that shit gave me goosebumps around like a crowd of people, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's fucking creepy."
Chilling, man. They got one on YouTube was like this girl. She got strapped up to a bed, and they like. It's not a video, but they have a picture like on the YouTube video of what she looked like at the time. Like she looked like sunken face, dark eyes, man, look a mess. But it looked like she's screaming at the person that was taking the picture of her with the camera too. But they play the recording of her talking as like possessed in bed. Man, I can't even finish the video. I was like, I'm good. I've heard it.
It was like a real video.
Yeah, it's like, but it wasn't like footage, but it was just of like it was like a still photo of the girl on a YouTube video, but you can hear like the conversation they're having, and she's like, like screaming and talking in some gibberish. And
dude, I believe that shit.
I'm good. I'm leaving the whole house if that shit ever pops off here.
Yeah, like what do you think are the reason why like demons possess people? Like if it's like a real thing, like what would be the reason behind it?
Yeah.
Like what do you think would be a reason? Like what is the gain from possessing like a child, female child, or a male child? What would be the reason behind that?
Corruption, shit. Especially children. I mean, because adults are already corrupt. If you want to, because demons, I would assume that like, if they want to possess somebody, a child would probably be the best thing to go for. Because adults already flawed, man. You probably get more kicks out of you corrupt somebody to make them go in that direction. So I can see children being easy targets. Also, too, children probably have like a weaker mind. Maybe they could take over that shit easier. Adults might fight it more. I mean, adults drink. I mean, a demon jump an adult body, you're gonna be fucking. It might not be good for the demon. So
and I think like children, like they believe more, you know, because they haven't been tainted with society yet.
Yeah, look, they just left the other world. They just got here, so they still probably.
So I think like their imagination is more open to like weird stuff because they don't know like it's not supposed to be weird.
Yeah,
like kids with like imaginary friends, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's like their norm until they grow up. Be like, no, stuff like that don't exist.
Yeah, because the world tells you that.
Yeah, the world tells you, like, no, that's fake. So then you automatically shut these doors down. Not even knowing it. It's like subconsciously you shut them down.
Right, because you got to grow up.
Unless you're one of those kids, you know, the one that leaves the door wide open.
Right.
Yeah, like the one that they grow into adults is like they're still fucking crazy.
The man-child.
But are they crazy or they're just seeing more than what we're seeing?
Probably. Like they just never close that part of their brain. They said the door stayed open, you know?
Right. So then like they get older, right? They're like, all right, I'm diagnosed with like some type of mental illness. So they would give them all these medications to close these doors down. But at the same time, you know, they jack the brain up, right? With all this medication, it rewires your brain to where your brain is not even working like normal no more. So you can't even live a normal life.
Yeah, because all medicated.
You're medicated to close these doors from the other side. But then on top of that, you pretty much fried your brain. So you don't even know what like reality is no more.
And the world's telling you that you're crazy.
Right.
Like, they got
I'm not crazy. Ah, look at that devil behind you.
Throw him in a crazy house.
Ain't no devil behind you. And then you get scratched in the back.
Right.
Look at these scratch marks. Yeah, all right. So, will the Vatican declare the authenticity of supernatural events? So generally, there's no such declaration that will typically be avoided, although the Pope may authorize a special procedure if deemed necessary, which is still like just that show the evil. If the Pope is like, all right, like I believe the story, I'm going to send out like the bishop out there to investigate because I think this is it's necessary for us to do this type of procedure with whatever is going on. Like, for example, remember there's like this church, I don't know in what state in the U.S., but the church said that one of the priests duplicated himself during like a ceremony, and there was two of him giving out like, you know, the stuff that eating the skin of Christ or whatever they call it.
The body of Christ.
The body of Christ, yeah. And they were like, it was two of him. And they said people in the audience, they saw all this shit. They're like, holy shit. Like, this is like a supernatural like event. It's like a divine event. So they call the Vatican up. They're like, hey, come check this shit out. But I don't know the details after that. Yeah, so like I guess that's when the Vatican was like, all right, we gotta rewrite some of these like protocols for like what exactly should we do in events like that.
Yeah, I think the Vatican is pretty evil. If anything, I think they're awful. But that makes sense though. Shit, you gotta clarify this stuff more, man. Because everybody's gonna have a supernatural story, but how many of it's gonna be like, I'm just being paranoid versus, oh shit, we do have a breach in our reality of something coming from the other side, and we do need to investigate it. And get that back over to the other side.
I think like maybe now like they're releasing like new guidelines because you know how there's so many like Instagram and TikTok videos where it shows people experiencing a lot of paranormal activity going on like in their house or whatever they're doing. And it's almost to like a point where like, all right, all these cannot be fake. Like some of these has to be like real. And I think like a lot of like the public, they're seeing all these paranormal activity happening around the world. They're like, okay, like what's real, what's fake no more. So I think that's what the Vatican, they had to step in, and then they're like, all right, we're going to have to change up our like protocols to verify what's real and what's fake, because there's a lot of stuff that's real where shit, who can even explain that? Like even with the video evidence.
Right? It's like shit. Some should be looking legit. Some shit is like, okay, it's obvious, but the last time I be sitting online now, I was like, I can't even pass a judgment on it because I can't tell you what is what, if this is real. I can't. There's
a lot of like paranormal shit now like popping up, and even I tilt my hair. I'm like, like I don't know.
That's like that one video you showed with the black. He was clearly a black dude, but recording like the dome, like the dome above, like there's like the orange line with the sky. Even I was like, what the hell?
Coming up in the ceiling of the sky.
Yeah, I was like, man, come on.
That looks crazy too. Like, because if you were to see that yourself, right, with your own naked eye, and then you record it, and then people say, oh, yeah, that's fake. And then you're like, oh, man, I saw that with my own eyes. Like, you yourself, you're like, wouldn't that break your whole reality?
Oh, hell yeah. It would shatter it.
Yeah, if I saw that, it will shatter my shit even way more. But like seeing that video, I was like, I can't tell if it's real or fake. We can't tell no more. I don't know.
I don't know.
What Bob say?
That says, so she's talking about what you had said before. Thinking about with the preachers, as they were low staff, so he split into two to help pass out offerings.
Yes, that was the one.
Okay.
And then they sent the Vatican. They're like, hey, verify this. Because it sounds kind of freaky, right?
Sounds supernatural.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a made-up story because it's like he split into two. He did double the work.
Right?
So I'm wondering, like, with the people that saw that in real life, like, when it was all said and done, right, did the guy, did he went back into one person?
Yeah, in front of everybody? Or
like all right, daddy back.
Maybe tapped in some type of frequency, kind of like appeared at two places at once.
And it's like, get back into 99.7.
Right. I
know,
in the comic books,
that's how, sound, right? Sound waves.
I know in the comic books, that's how the Flash does it. The Flash, the superhero with the red outfit, he's like, he can vibrate himself to the soul like at a specific frequency where he can make multiple persons himself. He's like in two places at once. It's almost like there's like two mirages in two different locations, but he's like going back and forth so fast it creates like a frequency of like,
damn. You think that's how like spirits work?
That's all I always thought, man. Because frequency, man.
All right, so check this out, right? You're praying to a god, right? Let's say everybody's praying to the same god. How can God answer everybody call at one time? Physically impossible, right? But let's say like what you were saying, how the Flash was able to vibrate at different frequencies at one time, and then he was like different areas at one time.
Yeah.
Let's say like God is just one big ass frequency vibration where he can be at multiple locations at one time.
And answer everyone's prayers and
right, and not just only answer their prayers. Like let's say like God at the time, right? Like let's say there is like an age limit to whatever God you're praying to, and let's say like you're praying to God, and then you're talking to like a God that's like 60 years old, but he doesn't know the answers, right? So he gives up the call to another God in a different timeline where the God is older and wiser, and be like, all right, a God from is like 300 years old, he can answer your question. And then they send that one to you. But it's all happening simultaneously.
It's like a telemarketing thing. Like, I'm sorry, I can't help you, but let me send you over to so-and-so. And they'll direct you over to billing and services. Please hold. And then...
Dude, it could be just like that.
Little G God comes rolling in. What's up?
Yeah. Like, give me somebody like higher management. Like, I'll just send you to like me from 300 years from now.
All right. I'm send you down this road.
Yeah.
Man.
What was I about to say? All right, so bishops, they should begin to they do like comprehensive investigations to prevent the spread of confused religious manifestation and refrain from public advocations of authenticity. So when they're doing these investigations, they want to keep this shit like low key without having to say, oh, I found these findings, and they publish it like online. So they're trying to keep it like isolated, like local, to prevent, like confusion, like with the public, especially like with religion. Because religion, I don't know, man. With more knowledge like coming out, like with religion, I think is a lot more sketch, and I think a lot of people they're questioning their religion a lot more today than they did like 100 years ago.
I think a lot of people, because I noticed this thing too, especially with younger generations. Like younger generations are becoming more spiritual now than anything else. I think the foundation of believing that you have to go there to worship is changing. Instead of having to go to church, you can just worship at your house. Because I know when I grew up, like my mom's house, she used to have this thing like, this is a place of worship. You don't have to go to church to worship God. She has some type of thing like on her wall. But and I think like just because it's such like churches got such a bad rap as far as like. Just getting all this, especially these mega churches, man. They fly around in private jets, man. It kind of ruins it for the rest of the smaller churches, and it's kind of turning people off from it. So it's becoming this new era of like people rather be spiritual at home than pay tithes or have to go to an ATM to take out money in the lobby of a church. Like it's changing up the game a little bit. So
yeah, big time. Yeah, so like so a lot of what like changed like the way they want to do this whole protocol for their guidance. It's from the 1978 shit that happened, and I forgot the details, but they said the extensive time taken to resolve cases at an inadequacy of the previous norms to guide bishops, and this case led to the revision. Yeah, I killed this whole story. Sorry, guys.
No, it's not good.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know like what exact like details like they actually changed for this whole thing, but I'm pretty sure if you do work like within the Vatican,
yeah,
you're well aware of all the changes.
To me it's like FBI/CIA, but for Jesus or God.
Right.
It's for a higher power, man.
And like with all the changes, I think they have to tell the public. So when shit hit the fan, they're like, "Hey, we told the public we did some changes."
Yeah.
So that's like saving their own ass.
Oh yeah. I mean, who would? Because I wonder if the Vatican's even trying to avoid lawsuits. Like, I guess I don't know, just to clear things up. I don't know.
They got a lot of power.
I mean, I'm pretty sure there's been times too where they've like probably botched some exorcisms and somebody died, and they've like, oh shit, how can we answer for this?
Sweep it on their rug.
Right. We gotta wipe out the whole family. Nobody can tell anything about this.
Yep. Yeah, that's all I got for that. And they released all that today, actually.
Shit, so this is new.
Yeah, it's new. Like, there's a whole lot more. It's confusing, man. They use all these big words I never even heard of.
Your big old church words, I guess.
Yeah, like nihil obstat. What is that?
My vocabulary ain't that great, but I can't even. I've never. Is that
What
even
is
real?
Man? What is that? I don't know.
Is that even a real word?
All right, I'm gonna take a leak, and then we're gonna do next story.
Okay.
Be right back. All right, and we're back with Chris Unholy.
Yes.
All right, I got another story. It's about Utah. I should have did this Utah story right before you did yours, but
Oh.
my bad. My notes are like all out of order. All right, so this is the mystery of Utah hoodoo. All right, so the legend of hoodoo dates back centuries to a time when the land was inhabited by indigenous people of the region. It is said that these mysterious figures were once revered as guardians of the sacred land, tasked with protecting the natural beauty of Utah's landscape. So, this area, like in Utah, people would walk into these areas, right? And they would describe seeing these people in like hooded figures, like hooded, right? And they would materialize out of thin air. And some say they're like, it's like spirits of ancient shamans. And then other people were saying like it's a manifestation of the like the land itself.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so they would see these like floating figures, hooded figures just floating through the land. Creepy, right?
Hell yeah. That sounds like the mentors.
Yeah, hoodoos.
That's some Harry Potter shit.
Yeah, some Harry Potter shit. Like they would hear like footsteps and shit. And you know, these hikers, like, because this is like a hikers area. And they would venture into like these remote canyon areas and then be like, hey, what's this howling? Right? They would look up and then you see like these floated hooded figures. Like, holy shit. No one's gonna believe this. Get your camera out, Billy. By the time you get your camera out, nothing. It's just wind.
I'm about to say, it reminds me of that game Fatal Frame. You gotta take a picture of them damn ghosts.
Yeah, Fatal Frame. That shit was scary as fuck.
Man, that game was scary as shit.
Xbox, they were ahead of the game.
Right.
Literally, that shit was scary.
That game was too scary for its own good. I was like, who made this shit? Why?
And we were playing it on a TV screen. It wasn't even VR.
Right?
Like Bob, she played it, right? Dude. Like she freaked out so bad. Like it looked like she was trying to kick like a cockroach. Because she kept freaking out. And like, I was like, what the hell? Like, it can't be that scary.
It's not VR. It's like just TV.
Yeah, until she played a VR game where you're actually walking in a haunted house. And then you see, like, you're looking under this little hooded tent inside a bedroom, like a child's tent.
Yeah.
And then, do you know, the ghost comes out of nowhere? That's scary, because you're...
What the hell?
Because it's visually, you're seeing, like, you're in a haunted house.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're there because you can hear everything. That's scary.
Goddamn VR.
Yeah, so no one, they know like for sure like what they are or where they come from. Like, are they spirits of the past, like lingering today, or are they just, it's just a mystery that defies like something you can't even explain.
Right.
Who knows?
Like a lot of human.
But
Like a
this
lot
is
of
like
things.
one of the stories in Utah.
Yeah, Utah also seems like got a bunch of damn stories, man. This is the part of the world, this part of America where ain't shit out here but probably the dead and a very few little bit of people. Because I saw like a video one time of what the U.S. looks like from space. It's like, okay, you see all these lights all on the East Coast, nothing but lights, 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 lights. And once you get to the Midwest, it dies down, and you don't start seeing lights again really until you get like to Cali. Actually, I think it's probably just California you see, but there's like that whole chunk of land, that whole Wyoming area,
Right.
and all that shit is dead land, man. There's more land than people out here, and this is God. I guarantee he's got a lot of dead stories going on.
You think all the lights are underground over there?
Oh, like lizard people,
Or like elites? Like, hey, like we party here, but we party underground.
Right, not above ground with the normies. You know, like the
Right.
elites, they always either want to be above or below, where they're not trying to be on the same level as us, like as living. They're trying to be in the sky and party on the ground.
Yeah, they play different. Catch me in the woods or catch me underground.
Right.
But you're not gonna catch me. No,
I got some
Diddy.
shit in the. And this ain't right. Speaking of Diddy, did you see that video that came out today?
Where he took his pants off?
What? No, wait. What?
No, what do you see? That's what I saw.
No, I didn't see that way. I saw one where he was like, did he take it? Well, he did have his pants off. He ran down the hallway in his towel.
I didn't see that.
He was beating it. All right. So months ago, the girl that this singer Cassie, she dated Diddy for years, right? And then she's the one that first came out with the whole allegation saying like he took me to these parties and I got done not raped or whatever, but he passed me around to other men at these sex parties that we were at, and so shit.
What the hell was that?
I guess it like picks up like
What the
my
bubbles
thumbs up.
come from?
It comes from the thumbs up. I don't know. That was weird.
That was weird.
But anyways, so Cassie was talking about like earlier this year, before the whole Diddy stuff went off the rails. Before that even happened, this singer named Cassie, she dated him for years and years and years. She came out saying that he used to take me to all these sex parties and he would pass me around, and that all these people that he was cool with, these rich guys, would have their way with me. And she filed some kind of like lawsuit against him, and Diddy immediately paid her out. Immediately, within like the next day, he paid her out immediately as soon as she went to public about it. And then she kind of went off on her own way. So now this video just resurfaced of Cassie leaving the hotel room, Diddy going after her in a towel, and oh my, this shit is crazy shit. And he starts beating her in front of the elevator, knocks her on the ground and starts kicking her. He's just wearing a towel, mind you. He's got no shirt on. He just starts kicking her, and he grabs her and starts dragging her across the ground back to the hotel room. What the fuck? I just saw this like a couple hours ago. I was like,
Gee.
man, Diddy, they got you red-handed being a dickhead now. This is it.
Was this like CCTV cameras?
Yeah, like hotel cameras. Yeah. All from like corner cameras, you know.
Damn.
I'm pretty sure you'll eventually come across it. It is insane. I was like,
He forgot to pay the security guy that was in charge of like the videos.
but he didn't like, you didn't go to security, but hey, pay out security, like, yo, give me all the copies of the tape. Give me the recording. How the hell? What the fuck? Like, kicked the shit out of her, too. You just start kicking her like she was a dude.
Damn. Field goal.
But Diddy going through some shit now. What is this? Oh, my God.
So he
I ain't laughing
wasn't-
because
he
it's funny.
wasn't
I'm laughing how
actually-
insane it was.
Like, he wasn't actually like arrested, right?
No, this happened in 2016. My fault. I should explain to you. This happened like back in 2016. So 12 years ago? No, sorry, I'm lying. 8 years ago. 8 years ago?
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Yeah, so 8 years ago, he kicked the shot out of him in the hotel, and somebody leaked this video of him doing it. So now they got to gonna be like, how we gonna lock his ass up for something that's
Yeah,
8
it's
years
all
old?
coming out. Like Cat Williams said.
Yes, it's time, man.
They all gonna get it. 2024.
Oh shit.
Yo, I got a quick story real quick. All right, so you heard about like this guy, right? His mom told him for like 37 years, do not touch the box that's in the freezer. There's a frozen box in the freezer. The mom's like, never touch it. So his whole life, while he was living in the house, he never touched this frozen box. So in his head, he thought it was like a cake topper, like from a wedding. And the mom never wanted him to touch it. So he never touched it for like 37 years until the mom passed away. After the mom passed away, he was like, I'm curious. Let me go check out this box. So he takes the box out. He opens the box. The box that defrosts. And then guess what he finds in the box?
What?
A tiny baby. With clothes that looks like it's from like the 70s. It had all the hair and everything. And then, he was like, what the hell? Like, was this like my little brother? Or like my older brother?
Yeah, right. So like a dead baby was all dressed up in...
Yeah, dressed up in like old school clothing. And it was a whole baby in his freezer the whole time.
What?
And his mom hid it from him. His mom never said nothing. She took that whole shit to the grave, like literally.
What? So what did he like take it? Like, did you take it to the authorities? Be like, hey, here's my... Damn, what did you even do?
Yeah,
like,
he took it to like the cops, and then they did all the testing on it. Like, holy shit! Like, yeah, this baby been dead for a long time, over 37 years. Bob said that's an episode from Evil. Damn, Evil, they got all the real shit.
Oh shit! Because like a lot of them shows be based off of like real events. And stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, like Law and Order type shit.
Yeah, because what's crazy, because I have another story that it's just like Evil. It's like the same thing. It's like a new story that's happening like right now, but it happened on the show already. Damn. But it's like a new thing that happened in Africa with kids.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is like some supernatural shit with African kids.
Like just like from that show Evil, like they have everything.
They must like the writers of that show must have did like some deep research on like, all right, we gotta look up the most craziest shit that's unexplained on Earth.
Yeah, or like shit that happens like a lot, because like that show, it came out like a few years ago, and
yeah, it's still new, kind of.
And a lot of stuff like that's in the show is stuff that's happening like right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, they know some real shit.
Yeah, because I always wondered if it was good, man. I remember the dude, Luke Cage. He's in the show Luke Cage I used to watch.
Yeah, I just saw him on the TV. Show. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him in a promotion for it. I was like, what is this? I was like, all right. Damn.
But yeah, that's that story. You got another one?
Yeah, I got one more story. Oh yeah, so they found another dead whistleblower from the whole Boeing incident. Remember we talked about before, like another one, man. God damn. This guy right here, his name was what's this motherfucker's name? Okay, so John Barnett. So the guy that actually, so John Barnett. So we're gonna take it back. So just a couple months ago, was it last month? I don't know. My brain's time's running together. But anyways, John Barnett was the previous guy that was the whistleblower for Boeing, talking about how they was like, instead of actually fixing parts that was coming down the assembly line, it was like, whatever the hell. Boeing just like slapped them parts onto the planes and didn't give a damn about it and then kept it moving. And he was like one of them guys that kind of like, I can't remember his exact job title, but he basically just did like inquiry, I guess if you want to call it, just like looked over like the protocols of how what parts are like damaged and whatnot, and like he has to be on the lookout for that stuff. And if he catches like defective parts to a plane, he has to notify Boeing, and then Boeing will go from there and if they make adjustments to it. Boeing hasn't been doing that, and that's why John Barnett, who we talked about before, who was 62 years old, he had worked there for like 30 years, and like employees that worked with him throughout those 30 years too were saying like, he's a good guy, he did his job, he was always on top of safety and protocol because he took it seriously that in this job you have a responsibility to look out for every single soul that gets on these damn planes, every single part, every single screw, and if something's out of place, that will literally just shred the plane apart because planes are flying like hundreds of miles per hour. So yeah, and so he took the job seriously, and a lot of stuff that he was calling out before, Boeing was blowing it off until we had that one door fly off the Alaskan flight that the guy was like in the chair and his shirt got sucked off, like that was one of their planes. Right? Like some fucking Last Action Hero shit. It was wild. And so But that was one of the planes that's supposed to have been recalled or should have had their parts checked out. And so they wound up finding him dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in his car after he started blowing the whistle on Boeing. And then the cops sometime later found like a suicide letter on him, but they never disclosed what was on the letter. And that kind of story just kind of went away. So now this time we have Joshua Dean, who was 45 at the time of his death. He didn't work at Boeing directly. He worked actually for Spirit Aero Systems, which is like contracted to work with Boeing. But he was actually, and his job was actually linked to like figuring out manufacturing defects in Boeing 737 planes. So he was basically just looking around for defects. So Joshua Dean, a quality auditor, that's the job title, at Spirit Aerosystem, initially reported a problem to management in October 2022. And he started talking about there was like issues with the bulkhead and there's improper drilling with the plates and stuff and whatnot. And they just kind of blew it off. I was like, okay, whatever. And they say nothing about it. But also too, he started being a whistleblower as well too for the Alaskan airline, the one like I just talked about where the door got sucked off and everything. He was a whistleblower for that as well too. And then so recently they actually found him dead. And when they did an autopsy on him, they found out he had like some kind of like sickness going on. And they said like, well, his family came forward saying like, well, Josh, he's always been a health nut. You know, he's never had any issues. In fact, he had a special doctor that he used to always go to stay on top of his health regimen, to make sure he's eating properly, everything. And so they said like, he had issues of breathing one day. And the reason why the family was shocked that he died in this manner, because they said he's never sick. That's how much of a health nut he was. He said he checked himself to urgent care because he was having trouble breathing. He quickly found himself in the hospital. He tested positive for influenza B and developed MRSA. It's a long scientific word I try to read, but it's just basically MRSA is an acronym. And then basically he wound up getting pneumonia after that, and he had a stroke, and then he was dead by April 30th. And everybody's like saying, how did this man die if he's never had any signs of bad health, but he gets hit all at once with all this stuff. Around the same time, he's a whistleblower. Bowen ain't looking good right now, man. These are two dead bodies that are popping up that was blowing the whistle on them.
There's like, like I guess since those two died, right? They said like 10 other guys that work with Bowen, they came out as like whistleblowers. Man. And then like there's this meme going out, right? Where it showed like, all right, 10 whistleblowers from Bowen just came out, and then it shows like the hitman like smoking a cigarette, like, oh, it's gonna be like a long day. Like I think he got a text message like, hey, we got 10 more.
Damn, I got all 10 then.
So I was like, damn.
2 was rough, and now I gotta do 10. Yeah, man. So
gotta make it look natural too.
Yeah, and that's what they try to make it seem like, because I guess like they realized, okay, the self-inflicted gunshot wound that looks kind of funky. We got to clean it up a little bit more. But
speaking of like conspiracy, that is like a conspiracy, right? Because
straight up, it is now a conspiracy, full blown.
It's just rumor that these people are being like knocked off by the company, but who knows? It might be just a coincidence.
Yeah, but all whistleblowers.
Yeah, but remember the Baltimore bridge collapse with a ship? Yeah. Well, like there's like some information that I didn't know about where the people on the crew, the crew on the ship, they're stuck on the ship right now, and they were told to give up all their phones and stuff, and they're basically stranded on the ship. They're not letting nobody leave. And I think they're still on the ship right now.
What is going on? Let these people off. How long ago? It was like 2 months ago now.
Yeah, I think like they probably know the truth, but they don't know how to. I guess I come to like an agreement, like with the people that's on the ship that knows exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Because they're saying like, okay, like Biden said like they're paying out the shit to where they're gonna get the bridge fixed. Like nobody's getting in trouble for it. Mm-hmm. So they're like, okay, that's suspicious. Like you guys not gonna do like an investigation about this,
right?
And like, no, we're just gonna clear it out, and then we're just gonna fund the bridge and get this whole shit back on the road.
Right.
So they thought that was suspicious because there wasn't like an investigation. This is just like stuff I saw on Instagram. I don't know how true that is. Right. But Bob sent me all this information. So she's in the chat. She knows about it. Because I said when she sent that to me, I was like, I didn't know like there was like 22 people that were still stuck on that boat.
Man, Oh, what this kind of give me some. I don't know why. This has got nothing to do with it. But I just started thinking about the Philadelphia experiment when them people got like fused to the boat type. What is going on? This is like another weird boat thing that.
Yeah, but this one they destroyed a whole bridge.
I heard something the other day saying that when they say like reviewed the ship because they say it lost power. Now they're saying like that's not the first time that ship has lost power or something like that. Where like they knew days prior that this ship was gonna lose power, or this isn't the first time they lost power. Either way, there's knowledge that the ship has lost power before though. I just found out the other day. So it's kind of like, oh, what the fuck? All right, now I'm hearing about these people stuck on the ship.
Yeah, that's new to me too.
This whole thing. That shit became a conspiracy real quick.
Right? Yeah, that was a crazy conspiracy. And it's still happening right now.
To this day.
Till this day. All right, so last story for the night. All right, so a South African school closed down over an alleged student possession.
Oh, shit.
Right, this is just like that show Evil. So on Tuesday, May 7, teachers and parents held an urgent meeting at a primary school in South Africa after it was reported that students were allegedly possessed by an evil spirit. And, the meeting was held to find a solution to why is this happening. So I think the teachers and the principal, they knew like these kids were really possessed by something evil. So they're like, we got to figure out what's happening right now. And this was in South Africa. And about 30 pupils, mainly girls, have allegedly been seeing things on Wednesday, May 8th. A boy was also like affected by seeing like these evil spirits or demons or whatever. So like a lot of students, they were traumatized after seeing their peers screaming and running out of the classrooms making scary sounds. According to the parents, the pupils were sent back home as early as 10 a.m. The school governing body member Bafana confirmed that everything that happened was exactly like how it happened. Kids were screaming in the hallways. They're like, oh shit, these kids are possessed by something.
Yeah.
So they started sending a whole bunch of kids home because they don't know how to deal with the situation. But they know there's something that's way off. They're like, something's not right.
The principal like, I don't care where they go. They got to get the hell out of here though.
Yeah, like fuck, like they're probably playing with like a lot of like whatever like they learn on TikTok. You know how they do like spells on TikTok. You ever seen anything like that? I heard of it, but
heard of it, but I've never seen it. No.
Yeah, they play all these like weird ass like creepy games on TikTok. Like, remember the one something with Charlie with a pencil?
That's familiar.
They put a pencil on a piece of paper, and then they call Charlie name out.
Oh man,
some shit like that. Yeah.
I forgot about that. Jeez.
Yeah, that's like an example of like dumb. Like, let's say a viral video goes super viral on TikTok of them doing like a real game where they can actually like conjure like spirits, and then a bunch of kids start doing that, right? Mm-hmm. So they're just opening up a whole bunch of open doors, like spirits just walking in and out like everywhere because something goes viral, like millions of people is watching it, like millions of people are doing these spells and shit.
Hell yeah.
We're all fucked up. They open all the doors. These kids open all the doors.
That's like that movie. You ever seen the movie Talk to Me?
Yeah, it was creepy.
Demon hand, you gotta grab it and just, man, like that shit. Them damn kids.
They grab the hand, then they can see like the dead.
Yeah, like the talk to me, and then the dead gets inside of them, and then they like possessed for like a little bit.
Yeah, it's scary because like imagine like you're evil, like you're an evil mage, right? Like I want to bring havoc on this world because I fucking hate Earth and I want everybody to suffer. Mm-hmm. And then you go on TikTok, you make a video like, hey guys, it's like a new video on how to conjure up, like you can manifest your destiny using these spells. Mm-hmm. If you follow these spells like correctly, you will see like an entity, and then you can tell the entity exactly what you want. And then all these kids are like, damn, Chris, unholy Jesus. Thank you. Like, I tried this spell and it worked. Then people read the comments like, oh shit, it works. I'm gonna do it too.
All right.
2, 3, 4, 5, 10 million people watch it. Like, holy shit, they're doing it. And then they're casting all these spells, opening all these doors.
It's like The Ring, but on crack.
Yeah, it's like The Ring on Cocaine, dude. Everybody's getting it.
Man,
it's scary, right?
Like
because back then, like, it's like how you get on top, right? It's the information that you know, that what makes you on top. But
this
now,
is like the modern day. This is basically just the modern day Ouija board, but on viral mode.
yeah, viral mode.
It's kids always be the ones to be like want to test the limits of like our reality and the other, and like, oh, let me try a Ouija board, or let's go summon this ghost. Let's go sneak into this house at night with all our friends and try to talk to ghosts. Kids always like want to test the limits of the spiritual limits.
Make your own Ouija board. Because my sister Kelly, I remember a long time ago, even when I was a kid, and she said like her and her friends made a Ouija board out of paper, and they used like a Pepsi shit they got from like a Burger King, and they said like the cup was moving. I don't know how true that was, but as a kid I believed it. I was like, oh shit, they played with a Ouija board, they made it, and they said it worked.
Damn Ouija boards, man.
And now, when I was a kid and before like the internet.
That's why Ouija boards, you always gotta remember to with the Ouija board, you always gotta remember to close the door behind you too.
Yeah, that's like the rule.
Don't leave that shit open.
You gotta say goodbye. Because if you don't say goodbye, like, oh, the session's still live.
Then the ghost gonna be like, oh, I can just step right on in. It's kind of nice.
Live stream still live. Start walking in.
This is a nice house. Let them haunt it.
Yeah, like I sent Bob like a video of this dude. He was like, I hear this knocking in front of my door, and he has like the Ring camera where it shows in front of his door, nobody in front of his door, right? But he's recording with his cell phone, and it's like you could hear this banging from the front of the door, but the Ring camera shows nothing. But I'm recording it live right now, and it's just banging. And then next thing you know, the banging stopped. And he was like, "What was that?" And he said something touched his shoulder. He's like, "Oh shit!" He was like, "It's in the house." So he starts like trying to find like this entity and shit. He walks up like the bedroom. He's like, I know you're in this room. And then, you know, he starts hearing noise like in the bedroom. But I didn't see nothing, but it was pretty creepy. Because doors were closing by itself. I don't know if he like rehearsed that or something, but if that was like if that was real, that would be like the most realist thing to that movie Paranormal Activity. That's as real as it can get.
That movie was wild when it first came out, man. I was like,
because it felt real.
Almost had me fooled for a second. I was like, there's no way they could have filmed this shit. And I was like, wait, shouldn't the cops have this for evidence? I was like, oh, what is going on here?
Like, what's crazy like about that movie? Like, there's like real shit that's happening like right now on Instagram, TikTok, where people are filming stuff just like that, but just a little bit more wild too. And I'm like, holy shit, this is worse than the movie.
Yeah.
Like, cause there's like this one footage, right, where this dude is recording like banging like on his back porch, and you can see like hands banging like on the door. Like, you can see like hands banging, right? And then he opens the door, there's nothing. Close the door, you can see banging like hands. I was like, holy shit, that's crazy. I was like, if you're able to pull that off, like with your technology, like comparing it to like the movies, that's pretty. It's legit. It's pretty good.
Right. You need to take your chances at Hollywood.
Yeah, like you should go work for Hollywood or some shit, because that's pretty good, better than the movies.
Oh yeah.
Because the reaction, it was real too. Like, it was almost like he was annoyed because it happened so much in his house.
Yeah.
He was like, "Here we go again. It's happening again."
He ain't gonna do shit.
It's like, all right, now this is gonna happen. I'm just gonna record it now, just for documentations.
All right.
Because there's another video that I saw, right, where this guy's in his, it looks like a hotel room, where it's like, all right, it's like something's gonna happen now. And then he sees like, he took like a balloon. The balloon got like flown across the room, right? It was like, okay, like you got the balloon. Then next thing you know, like they picked up a chair and they twist the whole chair around, where the chair almost hit him. And he was like, it's like, okay, that's a close call. I'm gonna end this video here, because I've never had it like that close to where he almost got hurt. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Like it
cut the film, man.
It was like cut this shit. Then there's this another video where he showed like, you know, the blinds like on the screen door. Like, these are the blinds where you have to like spin it, right? To open it.
The rod.
Well, this shit spun automatically, like open and close, like super instantly. It's like, what the fuck? Like, they're spinning it that fast.
Yeah. It's got super speed.
Yeah, I was like, that looks about real.
Man, fuck that.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Mm.
We good in time? Yep.
Good.
All right, guys. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right.
I do have a topic. If you don't have a topic for Tuesday, I got one on standby already.
Dude, that's in 3 days. Well, what we got?
Ready. This guy named Jack Parsons. He's be one of. He's like a NASA scientist. One of the first NASA scientists to create the chemicals for like rocket fuel.
Mm-hmm.
He's be a part of a cult. Aleister Crowley. With Aleister Crowley.
Yeah,
it's good. I stumbled across this the other. I was like, what the? Like, okay.
We went deep diving Aleister Crowley, dude.
Right? Aleister Crowley returns, and he's gonna make a cameo in the next episode.
What's crazy, like a lot of people don't like him, but like when we did the episode, it's like we had sympathy for him.
I mean, look, he wasn't hurting nobody.
Yeah, I was like, I think he was just misunderstood at his time.
He wasn't hurting nobody, man.
Yeah. He was like, no, like he's saying this, like he's fucking evil. I was like, maybe he was misunderstood, like, and he knew shit.
I mean, and especially not to mention around that time too, humans were quick to want to blame people for being like a witch or whatever, just because they was doing something outside the realm of their reality.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this guy is like speaking to like a god from another dimension that told him to write a book. Mm. It's called like the Law of Everything, something like that.
Yeah. So I got that. So Jack Parsons. I'm gonna try to find a name for the title for you because I don't know what to name the next episode, but I'll try to figure out one. No, his name's Jack Parsons. I'll send you a link too if you want it.
Okay, cool. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Peace out. Adios.
See you guys.